Welcome to the Salt Circle Podcast. With me is an overbearing and over-emotional human, Ben.
I thought you forgot my name for a second. I was like, that's understandable, but also we've been doing this for a while. So that sucks.
I had to remember the phrase from the first episode because he only says that in the first episode.
Dude,
before they go to
that killed me.
You
just said it outright, like no anything but that. That's right, teenagers.
It's too real.
Do you want to explain how we got to Power Rangers?
Oh yeah. So I'm sitting here, mind my own business. Ben comes to me, sends me a link, and is like, "Is this real?" And it's the fucking opening to Power Rangers,
dude.
It's the full song for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
It was so damn saucy. Like it's just a fucking straight up power metal song. Like I'm like, is this a fan cover? Like this person talks about how much they love Power Rangers and it's like not an official upload or anything. I'm like, what is this riff? Well, I gotta check with someone who knows.
This is Power Rangers.
So
they play it a lot too. It's not
twice an episode.
Just all the time. When can we not when are they not using it? That's the question.
Yeah, so I've done minimal Power Rangers.
Yeah, sure.
I know it exists because I watched Saturday morning cartoons as a kid, religiously. So it's hard.
Yeah, but what were they at when?
So here's the thing. So we ended up doing. Hank took a selection of 15 episodes from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah, from they're all from the first season.
Yeah.
Of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which is 60 episodes, but
yeah. I actually thought Mighty Morphin was earlier, but it started in 93, I guess. And
yeah,
I assume I must have seen reruns or something, or maybe I just had caught parts over the years. I don't know, because I didn't really recognize anything, but the Megazord, the different parts of it, like the dinosaur rising up and the mammoth rolling / slowly walking but going fast, that was a core memory unlocked or whatever. And then them assembling I forget what they call it, the gun thing where they all hold it. They have a different part.
Oh yeah.
That was super familiar, so I don't know how I caught that, but probably
in syndication, some sort.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I remember telling you what I didn't really watch any of it, but I guess the one that would have been on would be what was it, Lightspeed Force or something?
Lightspeed Rescue.
Yeah, sure. And then I remember there was a ninja one. I thought there was one that was more into dinosaurs, but Mighty Morphin was kind of dino. Okay, there's one that's more on the dino theme.
Dino Thunder or something.
I think that sounds right. I think that's the one, if I recall, that I have the most vivid memory of seeing commercials for and shit. So that's the thing. Mostly, and it's hilarious
Dino
because
Fury.
It's Dino Fury.
No, never mind. No, Dino Thunder is correct.
Okay.
I don't know.
Mostly
something.
The my experience with Power Rangers is, despite not watching the show, I had the Megazord thing for the Lightspeed Rescue, and it's I was kind of into, not super into trains, but I had a little wooden toy train track thing, and I was big on playing with trains when I was little.
Yeah.
So this was fucking incredible. And despite not having seen Voltron, I got a Voltron thing like the the 5-part, like the big thing for a separate Christmas.
Yeah,
I don't know why I was getting these. Like, I demonstrated no interest. I assume Santa was just like, this is the hot shit this year. I just pulled the trigger.
True.
But it was dope. I had no idea what these things were, so I just like made it up myself. And like there were so many battles between these two, Voltron and Train Zord, just going at it. It was good shit. So never saw Power Rangers in my fucking life, but I spent countless hours playing with that train. So they did it. They, like you said, it's like a streamlined toy selling machine. They did it.
Yeah.
I don't even need to watch the fucking show, and I'm buying the toys.
Yeah. It is so like a big thing about particularly Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It's like they just came out with like a finely tuned sword for selling toys for kids.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is like, it's like, here's this like long running, like figured out the formula Japanese show for figure out toys, and now let's just add in all this 90s fucking sitcom shit directly to it.
It was so dopey. It's like so fun, but it's just so shit. Like it's lame, but it's just fun.
Like the Power Rangers themselves in Mighty Morphin, they have like no personality. They have like a trait almost, but mostly they're just athletic.
Yeah.
And like gonna do a charity event or whatever every episode.
Yeah, no, they just kind of exist. I love the there was some, I sent the one screenshot to you joking about like, you didn't tell me there was outfit drip, because like the bullies just have the most fucking ridiculous get-ups, and it's amazing.
The bullies who just get fucking wrecked every episode.
Dude, they're such shit bullies.
It's like I like watching this, I'm like, are they the ones being bullied?
They kind of are. I mean, when Billy and what's Pink Ranger's name? Kimberly. I could think of the actress's name. Billy and Kimberly like get turned bad, and they're like
punks,
infinitely better bullies, infinitely more efficient.
True.
That was hilarious. But like the Power Rangers themselves, they also got like that outfit drip going on, like just different outfits every time. As long I assume they were told like you can pick whatever outfit you want to wear for this episode, but like just keep it on color theme. So like that was pretty good. I don't know. It was just
they might have had wardrobe.
Yeah, it was fun watching the.
But it is funny stuff. They dress in those colors even before they become the Power Rangers.
Yeah. Like it's so fucking.
This is just who these people were,
dude. And then when the Green Ranger Saga, when like who could the Green Ranger be? Tommy's fucking walking around in green pants and a green mesh shirt.
Yeah, his like, green mesh shirt.
It's like it's like in JoJo. It's like, who could the stand user be? And it's some dude decked out in gold and like fucking fur and shit in the middle of the desert. Like,
who could it be?
And then I don't know. The Green Ranger Saga was funny just because of how they're like doing an extended plot thing, but then combined with the writing. I mean, it was good, you know, but just there's some wonk.
Yeah, like you can't. There was no way to like recreate the experience of that when that aired that made it so impactful.
Yeah,
because you think about Power Rangers as like it aired like every day on weekdays after school when it was like first coming out, which is fucking insane. But he's like, you know, is like standard for like some anime stuff at the time. Like Digimon did that too later, but think about it for like a live action TV show. It seems kind of crazy. But and like, you know, Power Rangers, it's just the same. Like every episode is like, yeah, we get the thing, and then the Megazord shows up, and the music pops, and then you're done.
It's
and it's
super-
like you're not. It washes over you. It's not like it's not challenging you in any way or anything. It's not like interesting, but it's just like fucking rad and in your face. It just happens to you.
yeah.
And then the Green Ranger Saga is like, fucking plot is happening. What is going on? Like things.
Yeah. Like
It's just like it's doing the thing of building the regularity of the formula and then breaking it.
yeah.
Which just creates a feeling, and that's like the first time that like happened because it's so nakedly just that. It's not like there's really that. Like, the Dragon Zord is fucking dope, but other than that, it's not like there's anything particularly notable about it, except that it's different, and holy shit, something is different.
Yeah, it's like an event. After you know, if you feed the same formula for like a trillion episodes, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
Which,
point.
even by that point, it was... you had been fed the formula a shit ton, and we're not even, like, halfway out of season 1 yet, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a cool idea. It was fun.
Yeah.
The idea of like, Empress Rita had like the coin power chip or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just literally Evil Ranger.
Yeah, I do think it's funny how they knew Tommy for like 3 seconds, and then he got brainwashed, and then later they're like, Tommy wouldn't do this. I'm like, how do you know? He turned into an asshole immediately. Maybe the dude's just a dick. But yeah, no, I was so as I was watching this, I was like trying to, because I have zero nostalgia, so I'm like putting my mind into like a kid watching it, and I'm like, with the Rangers finding out that Tommy was the Green Ranger, like, because like that feels like a moment, you know. It felt like a moment, not that because obviously the kids watching know, but like watching the Power Rangers find out, like, oh shit, like I don't know, maybe that's like too much of a. I was trying to find the points that like the kids would be like, oh, God.
The things that stuck in my mind from that stuff is really like the fight where where like Scorpina is there and Goldar is there and she makes Tommy grow.
Oh yeah.
Like the part where she made Tommy grow, that blew my mind at the time. Just like, he's big. Why did they do that again? He's so much more mobile than the Dragon Sword. Who's not a dude in like 10 tons of fucking plastic or whatever.
Yeah. The fight from Green Ranger stuff that stuck into my mind was I'm just like the scene of him, like the Power Rangers are in the Megazord and he like goes in to attack them. And just the sequence is so fucking great. He just throws open the door and starts beating the shit out of them.
Yeah, that
everything
rules
gets
too.
like the panel just starts blowing up and shit. It's so fucking good.
Oh no, he opened the door. Fucking nobody could do that.
He just opens the door and starts immediately throwing hands, like just punching these people while they're sitting and shit's just on fire. Like it was fucking great. So that was super
No,
good.
generally the most memorable parts of Power Rangers are when the Power Rangers just completely get their asses kicked.
Yeah. Like
When they just get utterly destroyed. That's the most like more than usual.
Yeah. Man. I think the low point for this was like, I mean, by the end of the Green Ranger Saga, I was like, if I hear fucking ay one more time,
Oh my,
someone's gonna die, and it's not gonna be me. It was too much. It was too many ay's.
Yeah. The fun thing is second. I think it's second. Alpha voice, so much worse. Like, oh my god. What if Alpha plus Jive, Ben?
Oh shit. That
It's
sounds
really fucking bad.
That sounds so much better though. At least I can laugh at that.
Yeah, fair enough.
I need to see that.
I don't know. I remember it being like a true nightmare.
That sounds reasonable. Alpha getting fucking chicks at the party, at the Halloween party.
So fucking
It's pretty top tier.
the
Just
girls
surrounded.
love
Just fucking surrounded immediately. I'm like, this is some fucking cursed Teddy energy or something. I don't know. I don't like it. But it's great, but like I'm unsettled.
It is Teddy energy. Not wrong.
Man.
Not wrong. He gets hacked because Tommy puts a CD in his back.
Yeah, it's just like dude, some of the stuff with like I don't know, the weird science that are just like throwing shit at the wall, and some of it was pretty good. Or like when they're trying to fix Alpha and Billy's like, I don't know, I'm not familiar with this circuitry. Hand me the subatomic particle atomizer or whatever the fuck. Mm-hmm. And he just starts blasting Alpha, and then Alpha's fixed. I'm like, yeah, you take a blowtorch to the motherboard. That'll get her in working order. It's just good. Yeah. I don't know, some of the stuff with the like I just found the stuff with the high school elements like also pretty enjoyable. Like they were also fun, I thought. It was it was like a decent, like I never felt like I wanted like, wow, this section of the show is shit. Like get me back to the other thing. I guess just because there's always like stuff. It's just stuff going on one way or the other.
I mean, if you're like literally, if you're just watching one episode, it just flies.
Oh, dude!
Like if you're watching endless, like if you're watching a lot of episodes, you enter a fugue state where you're like, "Fucking, what is real anymore?" But
yeah, I kind of hit that. I'm like, I can watch an episode like even just after the first episode. I'm like, holy fuck, we're done already. I checked. I'm like, this shit's under 20 minutes. That's wild.
More time for commercials.
Dude, I kind of like having like a TV rip or like a DVD rip and then like having like authentic commercials inserted. That would have been kind of cool. At least for like an episode. Give me that.
Yeah, it would have gotten
give me that
old real fast.
Give me that experience.
I get you.
Man. I did check out because I was curious. The villain voices are like, I was listening to them. I'm like, there's no way that they didn't do these characters absolutely dirty. And I found like a comparison for like one of the Green Ranger Saga episodes, and like the Japanese voices are just normal, and then in the American version, for some reason, they decided that like the one dude had to have a voice like this, and just rolled it. I'm like, it was so unnecessary. Why? He could have been cool.
You mean the monster of the week or whatever?
Not the monster of the week, but like one of Rita's like henchmen, one of the main dudes. Some of the monsters of the week were pretty good. Like some of the designs are pretty sick.
Well, there's some voice because this is like a Saban production, which also Digimon was. So there's some voice actors I recognized from Digimon.
Oh,
like the Terror Toads voice actor. He did work for Digimon, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I just recognized that voice.
Yeah. There were some that I thought were semi in the English version, you mean? Just the English voice. Okay. Yeah, there was some English voices that I sounded familiar, but I didn't look up anything.
Yeah, I didn't look up anything there. I just some of those I recognize.
Oh, what was it was about? I was going to say something about the about one of the monsters. I don't know. It'll come back. Those mutant Power Rangers though. carrying the fucking lobster shellfish thing, like just,
Their ultimate combiner mode.
they're fucking yeah. I'm like, is this happening? They're just carrying him and fighting Megazord. Okay, this is fucking wild.
So fun fact about that episode. That's the one in this set we watched that doesn't have a episode of the original Sentai that goes with it, because so the 2-part Doomsday that we did was originally supposed to be the end of the season, so that's where they were out of footage. But Power Rangers was so fucking popular, they actually commissioned Toei to make them like more fight scenes.
That's what they came
so there's
up
like
with.
well,
good,
yeah,
though.
like,
That's
and then eventually they switched over to the next Sentai show.
Yeah,
But so like the rest of season 1 and some of the Ranger, because first they do switch out the Zords for season 2, but they don't switch out the suits yet.
okay.
So I think they also had new suit footage from Japan. But yeah, so all the there's like 20 episodes or something of Megazord fights that are like, it's called like ZU2, or I think in the fandom, because it's Zero Ranger was the name of the Sentai show.
Gotcha.
And there's like, nitpicks about the differences or whatever, like the fight pacing is a little slower because there's certain stuff that like would get cut out for being too hardcore,
Too hardcore?
American,
whatever,
or whatever.
Dude, that little tidbit I found that I sent you early on, where it's like all the backlash. I don't know. I guess maybe just backlash, not all. To like the violence.
Yeah.
And like those. I mean, it's sad as shit. Like those girls or teens or whatever killed someone in like Sweden. And it's like, oh, we're banning Power Rangers because that influenced it. And it's like, oh, wait, no, they weren't a fan of Power Rangers. It was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Slandering the Power Rangers. Like just a weird thing.
Well, in Europe, they were the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles because of censorship.
Ninjas had to be censored?
In Europe, yes.
That's fucking weird. Whatever. That's funny. But yeah.
Also, eventually in the show, they took away Michelangelo's nunchucks. They gave him a different weapon. Because kids, nunchucks are too easy to hurt yourself with.
I mean, like, I could see that. I'm like, that, you know what, as a kid who did that because someone at some point had some nunchucks, like, those fucking hurt.
But instead he has like a grappling hook thing.
Oh fuck!
I don't know if that's safer.
That's safer. What could possibly go wrong trying to grapple hook with a homemade thing?
Yeah, I feel like it's easier to understand than like nunchucks. It's just so
totally.
easy.
It's not spinning near your face or your friend's face.
Yeah.
Whatever. Kids will be fucking fine. I swung my brother around by his legs once and clipped his head on the staircase. He was fine. It's all fine. Just getting hit in the face with some nunchucks.
Think back to like my dad's generation. Like his parents didn't fucking give a shit at all what he was up to.
Oh, dude! Like some of the.
My aunt, she got her finger cut off with an axe when she was like 2 because they were. The kids like were playing with an axe to cut some wood.
Yeah, no, that sounds right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, do you remember those big lawn jart things? Whatever. Like you like throw them up in the air and they're fucking like they're steel needles, giant steel needles. Yeah, we had some of those, and I'm like, holy shit. It's like fucking. This would be awful.
It's you're a kid. You go off into the woods by yourself. That's where you hang out.
I mean, I spent my fair share of time like attempting to push over dead trees and finding like the old foundation of a burned down barn and like pushing the wall over and throwing glass bottles at rocks because they exploded. Like, shit's fun.
Yeah, whereas my mom stopped making me go out, try and play in the backyard because she found needles back there.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Someone doing heroin or whatever.
That's no good.
Urban life.
I mean, I think that, on the flip side, you got that country life. My friend got a compound bow, and we decided it'd be fucking sick to see how far up in the air an arrow would go if we just shot it straight up. Nobody got hurt.
That's
thankfully, but like in hindsight, like, ooh,
this is not that far away from shooting at ourselves.
Yeah. But yeah, Power Rangers.
The Mighty Morphin Mutants one, that one stuck in my head because like as I like continued to watch Power Rangers or whatever, like whenever they would do the evil Ranger idea, I would just be like, why isn't this as good as the time they just made the Power Rangers evil, but there wasn't a Red Ranger and it was just a lobster man? Like, why is this worse than that? That wasn't like fucking like brilliant or whatever, but it was just the basic idea executed, and it was funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. Make it more like complicated and fuck it up. I just love Goldar's like, no one's good enough to be the Red Ranger. We need a lobster instead.
I mean, that's fitting, dude.
So that one and the Power Ranger Punks episode with the toad that fucking starts eating all of them. Those were the two that like stuck in my head the most. Is like the ones beyond the Green Ranger Saga, the ones I needed to do, and beyond that, I was like looking at a list of stuff.
Gotcha.
And then I was like, oh, there's the one with the Frankenstein monster. Let's do the one with the Frankenstein monster.
Dude, that was solid.
The thing that I love about that is like the Frankenstein monster fucking kicks their ass in the Zord battle. It's so strong.
Yeah, dude.
And also, like, you could tell the American footage where the monster has a mullet, as opposed to the Japanese version where he's clean in the back. It's very funny.
Yeah, no, I noticed that. Just those little, like, some of the cutting back and forth sometimes is just like, man. Mm-hmm. We're selling also toys, not quality.
Yeah. Fun fact about the joke at the end where Tommy shows up in the monster costume.
Yeah.
It's because it was him in the Frankenstein suit the whole time. The actor.
That's pretty good. Dude, some of the shit that they did is just like, it's just wild. Like, it's just rule of cool, except like cool for kids, like throughout. Mm-hmm. I forget. Ooh, was it the Shellshock episode where that like turtle with the baseballs and the stoplight or whatever? Is that the one where they're playing basketball in the beginning? There was one where they're playing basketball in the beginning.
Yes.
And like during the fight with like the little foot soldier things, whatever they're called, like
they dunk.
Yeah, the fucking dunk in the middle of the fight. I'm like, holy shit. We're taking time out of this ass kicking to fucking style on them. Mm-hmm. Oh, that shit was so good. Yeah.
It's funny to think about, like, parents getting mad about this. Because, like, even as a kid, like, they aired a special of, like, showing behind-the-scenes stuff of, like, how they filmed the American stunt footage. Mm-hmm. And they, like, talked about... They, like, explained how, like, the fight choreography worked. Like, the idea of fight choreography. Like, I learned about it.
Nice.
So, like, I knew what it was. Like, it wasn't like Like, I don't know. I understood. This is fantasy violence. They're like doing fucking planned moves.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know.
some of the stuff I saw, I can kind of get behind. Cuz like I think kids are pretty good at recognizing fantasy violence, and like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like watching like Tom and Jerry or something, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, I know I shouldn't drop an anvil on people. Also, I can't lift one because I'm 5. Like that sort of thing. But I did see some stuff about like complaints about the idea that like in like violence is like the go-to answer like all the time. And I'm like, I can kind of see that um
They're
based
never
on,
allowed to escalate. Never allowed to escalate.
yeah,
They're only
unless,
responding to the
yeah,
evil.
responding to,
Never use your fighting for personal gain. There are
yeah.
rules.
I mean,
There are limits.
there are limits, but like I could see a parent being like, my kid got hit at school, and they said that they are allowed to respond, so they punch the kid, something like that. I don't know,
Yeah, I don't
but
know.
I feel like it's anecdotal evidence from the parents. You know, like if your kid is susceptible to like hitting as a response, like of course they're gonna identify with the show where people get punched, that sort of thing.
Sure. My go-to move was hands around the neck and
That's a
crying.
good one. Wait, it's a classic.
That was my move.
I
Put my hands around your neck and start crying.
I didn't have any of those moves. I donked a kid on the head once in kindergarten. That's about all I got. He was doing
Yeah,
the
no.
thing where he like, you say something and he just repeats what you say, and he didn't. He wasn't stopping, and everybody was getting really annoyed. So I just gave him like a little like base of the palm, like kind of a firm but not super strong like donk on the forehead. I told him to stop,
Sure.
and he stopped.
You know, I had a really thin skin, and like certain kids just like once they realized how easy it was to get under my skin, they would just do it.
Yeah.
I just would want them to stop. Like,
Yeah.
please, just don't.
Yeah, no, that's garbage.
Yeah.
But you know,
Eventually,
Could
I
suck.
calloused over.
yeah. But now you're here.
Now I'm here dead inside. Whatever.
Oh.
Kidding. Yeah, but it is funny. It is funny, like the end of Doomsday for like all the Power Rangers like reassert. Yeah, we're gonna be Power Rangers forever, and like 3 of them are not Power Rangers for that much longer.
I mean,
Honestly.
maybe the working conditions shouldn't have been so shit.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, that was garbage, dude. The Tracy, what's her name, the Yellow Ranger. Like,
Yeah.
that sucks.
Yep. Very sad.
Yeah, no, reading about them, like, who all left? It was
Jason, Zach, and Trini. So
right.
red, black, and yellow.
Yeah. Didn't
They left immediately, and then Kimberly left.
I was gonna say,
A
I
little
thought
bit
I thought I
later.
read she left later as well.
Yeah. She left
Jesus.
later.
Just garbage.
Well, I mean, the thing is, those shows work on replacing everyone every year, so it was
guess.
it was just they're being scared about the popularity of the thing anyway, that they even kept them around as long as they did, kind of. But also they should have been paid more,
Yeah.
considering how they were on an incredibly popular kid show.
Yeah, paid
But-
more, and like some of the, I mean, the safety stuff is
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
horrendous.
Yeah, that too.
But yeah, I mean, it may, like, as soon as I read it, I'm like, that fucking checks out. I'm sure the show was trying. Clearly, they were not like pouring money into it.
No.
Because that's profits.
Profits, baby. No, and that's like Saban was about scraping as much out of a thing as he could.
Yeah.
Trying not to put. I mean, he had things he put more into than because he thought they were better bets, but generally it's about working non-union and getting what you can out of a thing or whatever.
Yeah. I will say, like, I don't know. I guess I thought it would be going in before I'd really seen anything. I was kind of surprised that, like, the Power Rangers themselves, like, weren't really involved in too much else. Like, it doesn't really seem like any of them went on to do other stuff necessarily. And
I think the biggest one is Tommy did some MMA.
Okay, I mean, yeah.
Like later in life.
I saw, I think it was Kimberly did she like did a little bit of directing or something for like some short films or whatever. But like then I started watching the show. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Like super popular, but it's not like they're like real talk. You could have gotten like anybody.
No, I mean, and they weren't hired for acting ability. They were as much hired for their ability, their like physical ability.
Yeah, well, and that's what I noticed as like going,
which was honestly a big appeal of the show as a kid, was just like seeing the physical stuff happen.
Yeah,
it was cool.
Well, I guess it was after like I don't know, like the second or third episode or whatever. It just I had seen it going on, and then it sort of clicked that like, oh shit, like they're doing their own stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Like they're also being switched out for, you know, obviously the Japanese footage is stuntmen and stuff, but like some, like, you know, it was like they were getting hurt doing their own stunts too. So
yeah, that's, you know.
But that's, you know, we were hired before athletic ability as much as anything.
Yeah. No,
it's honestly, it was a thing as like this, as Power Rangers went on and the actors became less about doing their own fights or whatever, or being more athletic. It got less interesting because like, it's not like the writing was good.
Yeah. It's still like the same, but
like, it was definitely like the thing that kept me into it was that there was like a string of people being like a mix of new and old characters, like the torch being passed kind of thing. And then when they fully finally fully break continuity and like all the characters were new, that was kind of when I stopped caring at all.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense.
Just like not having the if like you're gonna show me someone new, at least work them in with someone I've like decided is cool or okay.
Yeah. No, like the passing of the torch thing, like
or
that,
just like familiar with.
Yeah. No, that would be I feel like I would have been the same way. Because I mean that was my thing, even with like with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, like following the family or whatever, and then like when it breaks from the like direct lineage, I'm like, I no longer give a shit. We're in weird stuff now. I don't care. Take me back to the generational thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that. Also, this was like a good amount to watch. I thought. I'm not struck with the urge to watch 600 episodes of Power Rangers. I could maybe see myself checking out like a Lightspeed Force just to know what exactly my toy did in the show. But
well, I think we should do Power Rangers RPM at some point, because that one is actually well written.
Which one's RPM?
So RPM was the last Power Ranger show before Disney bought Power Rangers, and it was going to be the last season. So it's the one where the writers got to do the dark post-apocalyptic story that they'd been wanting to do the entire time for years.
What year is it? Or
RPM came out in 2009.
Okay. So RPM.
And also, it's like they made it from the Sentai footage is like cars with googly eyes.
Oh, God.
So
not the googly eyes.
It's very funny.
I was going to say, I'm like, RPMs. That sounds like car shit. That sounds fucking cool. Googly eyes.
Yeah,
Dude,
no.
the fucking car they drove in Mighty Morphin. Holy shit. What a
flying
ride.
car. Oh my
The
god.
flying car is just like a piece of shit. Just like the worst fucking ride. I've also just remembered I didn't reference. I can't fucking believe that they said it's morphin time.
They say it a lot.
As someone who didn't watch the show ever, and then hearing all the "it's Morbin time" memes, like that's incredible.
No, Morphin Time was they just said it over and over again.
I mean, the first time,
Like,
the first time was magical.
like,
Yeah, they say it a lot.
Between fucking Billy and Izzy from Digimon, prodigious. Used a lot. It is funny, like, that the actor for Billy was the oldest out of all of them, but he's like treated like the youngest or whatever.
Yeah,
He's like
definitely.
the least athletic.
Yeah.
Using his overalls.
Yeah, dude, it's like, I don't know. It was just funny. Like, they're all clearly older.
Well, Jason was only 18.
He was only 18?
Yeah, he was the youngest.
Okay.
The rest of them were in their 20s.
You know what? It's I was just reading about this. It's whatever fucking effect. Like, when you see high school students from, like, well, for me, when I see high school students from, like, the 80s and 90s, they look way older than I feel like I looked in high school, but it's because like the fashion is older and all that shit. So in my mind, they're like 20 something.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, most of them were.
yeah.
He was the exception.
Yeah, him coming in and being like I don't know. I guess I knew in my head that there would be like a tech character. I just didn't know that he would they would go so hard. Like right away it felt like they went super hard on him, like not being athletic, like with the karate class and stuff.
I mean, it's like I think it's like only that first episode.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, is this gonna be like a thing? Like, I'm just envisioning him like the Blue Ranger just getting like shat on by basic bitch enemies and needing to get saved, and they just kind of never do it.
So the thing I've found out, like only when I was researching for this, so in the original, the Blue Ranger was the comedic one. So I think that's why that happened.
Okay.
And like the Black Ranger was the smart one in the original Sentai. So there were times when they had to work around the goofiness of the Blue Ranger in the footage. Which then for then the ZU2 footage, they got it. They like gave notes for the like archetype kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So they didn't have to work around that as much. And like in the original, the Yellow Ranger was a guy. There was only one girl on the team. That's why the Pink Ranger's the only one in a skirt.
I mean, I like maybe she just wanted to wear a skirt, and the Yellow Ranger didn't want to wear a skirt. Fucking the girl power bitch.
I'm fine with it. It just that's why that happened.
I'm glad that they added a second girl. Watching them I feel like the main cast had like I guess I don't know about like acting chemistry or whatever, but it looked like they were having fun. It didn't look like someone secretly hated the other one or something. So it was part of it was fun watching them like do their shit because they looked like they were having a good time. Mostly.
Apparently, the actors for Bulk and Skull were actually your best friends in real life.
That's incredible. that's
also
like
so Bulk and Skull are the characters that persist the longest through stay in the show.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
They have the longest. They go through different jobs and stuff.
Oh my god, that's pretty incredible. Them when the Power Rangers are coming to grace the city with their presence or whatever, the charity event, and they're like, "We could be superheroes," and they're just in the fucking worst costumes. And then those kids are like, "Show us your powers," and they just start fucking posing.
Hell yeah. That's what it's about.
That was good shit.
They're like Gohan. They know what's up.
God.
That's what being a superhero is all about.
Yeah, it's about flashy outfits. Flashy, trendy outfits.
And posing.
God. So fucking good.
I mean, the Power Rangers are posing all the time. They're waving their hands around.
I was confused a little bit. Were they just working around like footage or something in that same episode? Why didn't Green Ranger get to be part of the charity event?
Oh, yeah, because they did. So Tommy was only supposed to be in like 9 episodes because that's how much footage they had. Okay. But he was so fucking popular.
I mean,
then he became. They, put him back in as much as they could, and then, once they were getting their own footage, they got more footage of him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Dude, of course he'd be fucking popular. I feel like you'd have to really fuck up a new Ranger to make them not popular at the time.
Sure. But I mean, also, like, just the way the Green Ranger Saga unfolded, like, that was the most hype thing.
Yeah.
For, if you were 5 at the time.
I mean, dude, for me, it would have been, like, fucking mind-blowing. Like, not only do you get this thing happening, but, like, he's also green, and that's my favorite color. Holy shit.
His Zord is like fucking Godzilla.
It's a dragon, and I love dragons. Like, this is the fucking cool. They play the little flute thing, and it's just like in I mean, the timeline doesn't synchronize, but like I was super into the idea of like the little flute in Pokemon the movie 2000.
Oh.
Kid me was like, that's fucking cool. We play this flute, and then a thing appears.
He doesn't even. There's like no cockpit on the Dragon Sword. He just plays his flute, and then it fucking does what he tells it to. Yeah. It's got the fucking like Mecha Godzilla, like fucking all. You zoom in on its hand, and all the little rockets come out.
Yeah, man. God.
It just becomes the center of the Megazord. Fucking get out of here,
like,
fucking
wow.
Red Sword.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Like, I'm like, what are they gonna add on to it? And I'm like, oh, we're just gonna fucking bump someone else. Okay, cool.
Well, but that's for fighter mode, and then there's the other mode where then the Dragon Sword just like drapes on top of the Megazord, like it's a fucking boa. Or
yeah, it's weird little neck.
And it's his dick mech.
His dick mech. Yeah.
Titanosaurus.
Dude, yeah. What was I gonna say? Something. The shots in the Megazord were like, I mean, I've seen I've seen the shots of the Rangers operating the thing, but like they never actually do anything. They're always just sitting at the console,
the weird
saying
so the
stuff.
weird thing
but
is
nobody's
like
hitting buttons. Nobody's doing.
Well, in Zeo Ranger, all their powers are supposed to be magic, despite what those mechs look like.
Hell yeah!
Like, but Power Rangers was going for like, technology versus magic thing, where the good guys use technology and the bad guys use magic. But that was not true in the original series. Just both sides were using magic.
Okay.
So that's part of why that happens. They don't.
Yeah.
They're not like. Yeah. It's not. That's not. They're not about that. Like they get in by using a magic crystal to like hook into their Zord.
Yeah, they don't like. Did they ever? No. Yeah, they do. They show because it's like the same teleporty thing.
Yeah.
Them teleporting, they just turn into like colored lines. Just like shloop. There was one fantastic shot of them in the Zord where they say like whatever fucking like Power Rangers go or whatever thing, and they do like essentially a Nazi salute, and that was that was a hell of a thing. Whatever, but no,
a thing they cut out is like scenes of like Rita like riding a bicycle in the air over Japan.
Lame. Why? Why'd they cut that shit out?
Because they don't want to make it clear that it's Japan or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
They did like the thing in the in Doomsday that happens, like where her palace like lands on Earth. That's from the first episode of Ranger.
Oh shit.
That's when she like just shows it, because I'd never watched Ranger, so I just watched like literally the first episode.
And that's
that happens in that first episode. She just fucking her Bandara palace just lands on Earth and like sucks up all the buildings into like one pile. They like slide over, and then her thing lands on top, and then she just fucks off to the moon afterwards.
Hell yeah. Dude, I forgot to mention the Doomsday thing. That was a whole, that was another interesting little 2-part episode. And I fucking loved it when, I forget if it was at the end of the first part or in the beginning of the second part maybe, but like, what's its name? Like the face that appears or whatever. Like
oh my god, I cannot remember its name.
Yeah, when the eyes appear, I'm like, oh, it's Berserk. Okay, I get it. It all just clicked.
It's like,
and then it
oh no, the Zero Ranger is coming through.
Yeah, it's like a whole. Yeah, that was funny.
Just like, and there's a giant face here for some reason. Yeah. Just like gloss over it as quickly as possible. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. It's just here. It's just here now.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
Another funny thing about Mighty Morphin is the show keeps going. At a certain point, they're out of Zeo Ranger footage, so they get a new actress to play Rita, but they just keep the same voice actress. So you're staring at her, you're like, she looks different, but she sounds the same. It's fine.
Yeah, that's pretty. Dude,
she stays around for a long time too.
Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't recognize like any of the baddies.
Yeah, it's like I think Power Rangers in Space is like the last season with the original stuff. Lost Galaxy is the first one where it was all new.
Okay.
So like that's a lot of episodes of television, but like you look at the list of Power Rangers shows, it's like pretty early.
Yeah. I love that the intro, like first off you have the riffs, and then you have Rita's voice actress going like ah, and it's like every time I'm just like, I expect this to be so much more metal than it is. Even it was pretty fucking metal, but like I want her to like do a song.
Oh, there. So in the original, there is definitely a scene where they all do a song
Hell yeah.
in Z Ranger that I don't think ever made it into Power Rangers.
Dude, we got that. It shocked me. We got that Green Ranger song.
Mm-hmm.
Green Ranger.
Oh yeah.
I was like, damn. Dude gets a little special.
Love the Green Ranger.
Oh,
So there's some episodes where like there's like a while where like Jason just has the Green Ranger powers. Like he gets the fucking shield, and he calls the Dragon Sword. I think he's one of the episodes we did. He calls it. He's playing the flute.
Yeah, he definitely does at least once.
Yeah, but he also like gets the like shield.
I
thing.
read that. I happened to see it on the wiki. Yeah, like the little, because there's not an episode list on the wiki apparently. It's just plot summary. And yeah, I saw that like Green Ranger loses his powers and then like gets it back, but it's temporary, and eventually he'll lose them. And I don't know.
Yeah. So we can write him out when we need to.
You'll lose them eventually.
It's
whenever
pretty
the
annoying.
studio says you should.
Mm-hmm. So for season 2 he gets new powers because they switch him to the new Sentai suit even though nobody else's does.
Okay.
So they have to work around that. But the thing I just learned, like, because I was like just watching openings and stuff, and like are like, you know, AMVs basically to the opening for different Sentai series. The thing I learned for that series is like the White Ranger is like a little kid that becomes a Power Ranger.
Oh hell yeah!
And that's the character Tommy was. Like, wait, what? Because they do that for Power Rangers Turbo. There's like a Blue Ranger where it's just a little kid that then becomes a fully grown adult Power Ranger.
God.
But I guess Super Sentai did that first. Just slightly, but I think he's just like a slightly shorter Power Ranger.
Man. Oh, I remember another bit that I was like having a good chuckle at. The one where the little kid that Billy's helping like invents virtual reality.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's funny because like they're on the roller coaster or whatever, right? Or something. And I'm like, this is actually a thing now. That's crazy. And then I'm watching it. I'm like, there's not nearly enough of them like falling over because their brain is messed up.
That's just clearly not good enough.
That dude, that pissed me off though. The science fair thing where like, I keep forgetting, chunking somebody. Who? What?
Bulk and Skull?
Bulk and Skull, Chunk and Null, whatever. They roll in and they start doing shit, and the adult like doesn't give a fuck about it, and then he comes up afterward when Billy and Kid like make them go away, and he's like, yeah, that's like you're disrupting everybody, like you're disqualified. I'm like, fuck you. This is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I was so upset.
They're nonconformists. They're punks.
I was so upset. Oh, the adult. What's he doing? It's some bullshit. Like, wow, I've been watching this kid has been like punching another student for like 3 school years, and then the student like kicks him back once to tell him to fuck off, and then we're gonna get the victim in trouble. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. No, that's real. That's just reality.
I know it's real. It's just I don't want to see it in my fucking Power Rangers.
Yeah. Well, you just give it 10 minutes and it'll be good.
Yeah. Like, wow, this invention is great.
There's no
I take it back.
That's the thing. There's no stakes in any of the plots. You know it'll be fine in like 15 minutes at most if you're upset about something.
Yeah. I mean,
Again,
Like
the fight that sticks with me the most is that fucking Terror Toad fucking eating everyone. Because, like, they're fucking down to just Kimberly alive. Everyone else has been eaten.
yeah, no,
But that's just a normal episode. She's
no,
like, it's like down to Kimberly, and Babu shows up and fucking shoves her. And it's like, fucking, oh shit. And then, like, the music kicks in, and she just fucking arrows that monster over and over again. You're ever good.
Yeah. No, I think the thing that's gonna stick with me is the fucking lobster on the Mutant Rangers.
Fair enough.
Like,
that one's also, again, that's my other
just,
one.
It's incredible.
Fucking combiner robots, but we're just people.
We're just dudes. Yeah.
I also just love seeing the Power Rangers as like giant, just like
yeah,
filmed at the low camera angle to make them look big.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. That shit's just fun.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I think I'm tapped out.
Yeah, sure.
Unless I'm forgetting anything. I don't think I am. Meh.
The other thing, like the command center is literally just like plopped onto Vasquez Rock, which is like one of the most famous shooting locations in California. Like they also use Bronson Cave a lot. And like those are locations that got like used in a shit ton of original Star Trek and stuff. Like,
oh, okay.
And like a shit ton of B movies because it's cheap to film there or whatever.
Nice. Oh, that's interesting.
So it's like classic stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Would not have known.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know at the time. I only learned later.
No, you watched. You were like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I recognize this. This is the cave.
Mm-hmm.
Just intuitively.
Yeah. No, I like Power Rangers. It is what it is, man. It's like, it's a finely tuned sword for selling toys to kids, but you know what? That's okay.
I mean, whatever. As long as it's selling toys and also like a fun thing.
Yeah. There is just a thing, like at this point Super Sentai had just gotten the formula of mech and stuff really like fine tuned.
Yeah.
They were in a groove. Like the Megazord is just good. And iconic. It has a lot of Voltron energy, which is just funny. Because like that's the other that just because that's the other pull that American audiences would have, like North American audiences.
Mm-hmm.
Was Voltron.
It was funny. I mean, both like talking like I didn't actually know the exact name of the Megazord. Like I didn't retain that information like at a surface level, but I just like said it. Because it's the Megazord, like just that.
It's the Zord that is Mega.
Deep-seated knowledge,
as opposed to the Thunder Megazord,
like
next season's.
I think even like, if anything, I would use it as like a generic term, and I just never knew where it like. It's just a mega, like my mom would call a gaming system a Nintendo. Like this is a Megazord, and I just never really thought about it. It's funny what parts were like ingrained. Oh, I have an Anya anecdote.
Sure.
Because Power Rangers was here. And I think it was actually still like, it wasn't the Super Sentai stuff. It was like the American version.
No, Power Rangers was like globally popular.
Yeah. And she thought it was stupid, which like tracks.
Yeah,
but
sure.
She said like it would like a lot of kids at school like thought they just weren't into it, I guess based on when it came out or whatever, when it got popular here.
Yeah.
And she said there was one girl, one of her friends would constantly talk about like, oh, the show is so cringy, blah blah blah. But she would talk about like specifically how it was cringy because she watched it every day. Like she watched every
Hell
episode.
yeah.
And Ani was like, I remember thinking to myself, like even as a kid, like if you like it, just say you like it. Like don't pretend to dislike it because we dislike it. Like what are you doing?
My move was just to never talk about it with my friends who didn't.
I mean,
like
that's
it.
like that's
Just-
as it should
like
be. As it should be.
I just be quiet. Like I know why. I get why they don't like it, but I like it. You know, it's a little corny sometimes, but you know, they're big monsters are fighting. It's physical violence.
I mean,
That's fun.
my friend attempted the same shit with Twilight. He's like, man, it's so dumb. I'm like, yeah, clearly. The fact that you have every book on your shelf and bought all the films digitally and on DVD would suggest you think it's pretty dumb. Like, man,
Amazing.
just own it. Like, if you like it, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Just
No, when
funny.
you're like 7, people
People
gotta
care,
protect-
yeah.
you have to keep that shit close to the vest. Can't expose yourself like that. The world is too hurtful.
I don't not anymore. It's not.
I don't know.
Like,
Depends. Probably depends.
I suppose. I guess it's just different stuff that like kids
Yeah.
don't give a shit about. Like nobody cares if you play video games anymore, based on my observations. Because like literally everybody plays Fortnite. Even the people that don't like Fortnite, because if they don't play it, then they're like their friends will have the knowledge and they won't get the jokes or whatever.
Yeah. And like, you know, anime. People do not. That is a more safe space to be an anime fan than it used to be.
Yeah. Depends on the anime, but yeah.
Sure.
If you roll
You
into
like
your
Dragon Ball? Fucking who doesn't?
Ooh, Dragon Ball. Yeah, you're such refined tastes. Yeah, you're a member of an elite club, all right. Pretty exclusive.
I love the Dragon Ball. It's my favorite Fortnite.
God damn it. Oh. I'll gatekeep that. I'll be like, wow, real Dragon Ball fans didn't learn about the series from Fortnite, because that's how being a fan works.
I mean, you wouldn't even get it. It's designs from Super.
I mean,
You look at Bulma and go like, this isn't Bulma.
No, I recognize it because the YouTube algorithm just throws Dragon Ball shit at me.
Oh, that's funny.
So like I now, I mean, not actual spoilers, but like designs and who I assume are enemies at some point have been shown to me.
I think I got fed a algorithm spoiler on YouTube for the new movie.
Oh, that sounds right.
Which is why I then had to watch it immediately. It's like, I can't let this happen again. Anyway, but yeah, so now you've got some Toku legs under us before we do the Sailor Moon Toku.
Yeah,
Which has better writing.
Well,
100%
and I find it more
writing.
Interesting. Like,
Well, I specifically mean the live action Sailor Moon show,
well, yeah.
because they're making up a lot of new stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad again, not a thing I'm like in general, not like super hype on, but I'm hype on this section because like it was cool. It was cool seeing a thing that like was all around me, and I saw commercials for like once a week, constantly on every Saturday. And you know that big train Zord.
Yeah, man. I mean, fucking, there wasn't a live action Godzilla show on TV every day.
Oh,
Imagine,
if only.
though.
If only.
Imagine.
I mean, I probably wouldn't have seen it at the time, obviously, but think of the podcast we could do. It's okay. We have Ultra Q.
Gojiban. That's the
Gojiban,
most important Godzilla TV show. which is live action. So,
Yeah.
live action puppets. But yeah, like Power Rangers, just this cross section of combining superheroes with giant robots, giant combiner robots. That's like the thing. And it took them a while to get there because they first had the superheroes, then they added the robots, then they added the combiner robots. This is like, I think, this might have been the first where they were combiner robots. Actually, this might have been where, like, literally where that happened and when that spinned off. I don't remember.
Okay.
But I think that's true. And what I hear about Zero Ranger is that it's also kind of, it's not like an interesting story. It's mostly fluffy. The thing that makes me less interested in it is, like, apparently the Sentai team, those characters, like, kind of apparently have like no personality, and like the stories are always about like them helping out little kids. So there's a lot more like the little kids are the ones that get like character.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
So that doesn't sound great.
If we're gonna do
like in the plot in the first episode is all like, they gotta save these two little kids that were in this spaceship.
I don't give a fuck about anybody saving those kids unless it's a giant flying turtle.
They're like, the bad guys are like gonna drop an anvil on this tiny spaceship that has two children in it or whatever.
Who gives a shit? Think of how much resources you're burning to save these kids.
And like because like the Sentai team is also like, thousands of years old. They were also sealed away to wait for
two kids to need help. You don't think more than two kids?
For the evil wizard, the evil like witch to be released.
Yeah,
whatever.
I would have appreciated like. You know what? No, I would have appreciated, but it would be literally impossible because of the footage. I was gonna say like it would have been cool to have like the Power Rangers helping out like around their town or city or something, instead of just like
the juice bar.
Yeah, or like we're gonna just ignore any kind of crime unless it's like from this person and it's like a big monster.
Well, as Mighty Morphin went on, they're always doing some like charity event to help the town or whatever.
A charity adventure, but like whatever, man.
Oh, you mean like walking down the street and they see a small petty crime?
I mean, it's kind of the stuff where like you start thinking about like superhero things or whatever, and you're like, okay, well, fine. Like New York is fucking covered. Who's watching Detroit? Like, how many cities are there? I'd start
this
the initiative.
You gotta have Venom move to San Francisco.
I mean, like, they need an anti-hero there. Yeah,
he's gotta protect the under city dwellers who live in the old city buried under San Francisco.
And also maybe he can eat some San Franciscans. That would be
yeah, cool. That is what Venom comics were about. Anyway, soulcirclepodcast@gmail.com, soulcirclepod on Twitter, anchor.fm/soulcircle.
It's morphin' time.
It's morphin' time.